lions and tigers and panthers, oh boy. Couple of nature trails in the park. Perhaps we'll see some alligators or crocodiles. These are the missile barns where the missiles were kept or stored.
Living in Miami in the early 60s.
From the computers they used. Our tour group, and I believe that's the original paint job on that building.
Since 2004. They only weigh a couple tons each. It's not a big.
The National Park Service is only recently taking over the facility and they're refurbishing it.
And I think that's something to remember. Yes, these guys were drafted. They were not paid well.
Yes, that's the original color. They've repainted it, but it was originally painted this color. The reasons for the color can only be speculated at. Some thought that the general's wife liked that color. Others that flamingo pink was on sale that day. Or maybe they just wanted to paint it like almost every other building in South Florida at that time. Maybe it was a disguise. The Russians would never think this was a missile base, right? Painted pink. So it was camouflage. Vultures at work in South Florida. I'm not sure what died there. It's obviously roadkill. It's too big to be a rabbit. A small deer would be my guess. It's an alligator just to the left of the bird, half in and half out of the water.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who's going to get who here. Florida chain gang at work. Well, no chains, but they are at least working. Yes, this is a post office. Now this is the story of the post office, and you can put it on pause if you want to read it. We're at a visitor's center. There's a canal running right along the front of it. Tourist trap or real Indian camp? We'll see. Definitely tourist trap, but it may be authentic. Okay, definitely tourist trap. Still under construction. I can see why they're building a new one. Kind of wobbly. In Central Florida, near the large lake, I think it's Okeechobee. In the foreground is sugarcane. They grow a lot of it out here. And in the background you'll see the smoke from the cane being burned. They burn off the foliage, and that leaves the central cane, which contains the sugar. There's so much foliage, that's the only practical way so far that they have to remove all of it. They've been doing this for centuries in this manner. We're in Sarasota, Florida at the Classic Car Museum. The last car that John Lennon drove was a station wagon. Remember the Edsel? The biggest flop in Ford Motor history. Even they'll admit it today. A 95 Crown Victoria Ford. The last car that Katharine Hepburn owned. Chauffeur driven. And of course the oldest car in the collection, Fred Flintstone's car. The home of John and Mabel Ringling. Ringling, you remember the circus guy. It's obviously nighttime. Every Thursday night they're open for half price. And I just happened to be here, good timing out, but the mansion isn't open. But I primarily came here for the art museum anyway, which is where we'll be at now. I especially like seeing these pictures in the museums because you can get so close to them, you see every stroke of the master. It's a delight to see this painting in person. The fat lion has always intrigued me. so much of these paintings were old when we first saw them as children. We've forgotten how bright the colors were. And then, of course, the modern stuff, the museum actually pays money for this. That's Benji eating a milk dud. You've always seen in the movies where the big boss lives in the big house on the top of the hill. Well, this is where he lives. You've also heard of trailer trash. Well, we've got it all here in Sylvester, Georgia. The big boss on the hill and the trailer trash.